So now we got two of the most powerful villains out there going head to head. Thanos versus Superboy Prime. Who wins? Well, let's find out. Thanos is an Eternal with the deviant gene, making him unique and extremely powerful, even amongst his own kind. Above all else, Thanos loves and worships Mistress Death, the embodying entity of death in the Marvel Universe. Few can equal his intelligence, strength, and ambition for power. Thanos is wielder of the Cosmic Cube, the Infinity Gauntlets, and even the heart of the universe. Being an Eternal, Thanos is exceedingly powerful, and you could even argue he's on the same tier as some Skyfather beings like Odin. He amplified his physical strength, so he's far stronger than any other Eternal, and is possibly one of the strongest beings in the universe. He's been able to overpower Better Ray Bill, beat Silver Surfer within an inch of his life, defeat Thor even while Thor held the power gem, and sent an attacking Hulk flying, which is a single punch. Thanos is also durable enough to easily brush off attacks from most heroes, and perhaps what is even more impressive, his durability to energy attacks. He's seemingly unaffected by Thor's massive lightning strikes and Surfer's full power blast, and has stood up against blasts from Odin and Galactus. Thanos is able to tap into, transform, and direct vast quantities of cosmic energy, and can emit powerful blasts of energy from both his eyes and hands. These blasts sent a fully fed Galactus flying halfway across the planet, although to be fair it didn't really hurt him, instantly knocked out the thing, and considerably hurt both Thor and Hulk. But this energy manipulation can also do some other stuff, like lobotomize and mind control the Fallen One, and heal Moondragon of a fatal disease just by touching her. He's able to create force fields that could easily withstand punches from an enraged Hulk, or the Champion, who possesses the power gem, and also trap beings or objects traveling at high speeds, like Mjolnir or Better Ray Bill's Hammer Stormbreaker. Thanos is an incredibly powerful telepath, as he can project sonic blast, travel to the astral plane, lobotomize powerful beings, mind control the Hulk, and he also has an attack called the Sync Time Warp attack, which he claimed had always resulted in a fatality until Drax didn't die. Like all Eternals, Thanos has the natural ability to teleport, although he usually prefers to use technology to teleport. Finally, the Mad Titan is highly intelligent. He's actually spent his entire life acquiring intelligence, and he's one of the most knowledgeable beings in the universe. And then another corner of it, Superboy Prime. Once a young, high-spirited youth in the real world with the powers of Superman, intense trauma has twisted his sense of justice and morals, which has only been exacerbated by the corrupted and ineffective heroes of post-crisis Earth, as well as his loss of his destiny as the universe's greatest protector. Superboy Prime possesses all the same powers as his counterpart Superman, but is more powerful thanks to mental insanity. It's actually more reminiscent of Silver Age Superman. The guy was able to haul 20 planets at once. Superboy Prime is strong enough to move planets at faster than light speed with ease, fight against the Teen Titans, Justice Society, and Doom Patrol, since he wasn't even trying, one-shot Power Girl, barreled through a 300-mile thick Green Lantern construct, and went on to fight against the entire Green Lantern Corps. Beat 2 Superman at the same time, and even killed one of them, broke out of the Phantom Zone, and he has even altered reality with his punches. So it's definitely safe to say that he's ridiculously strong. And just as he's ridiculously strong, he's also just as ridiculously durable. He said that Black Adam's punches just tickled him, took hits from Bart Allen, who at the moment had absorbed the whole Speed Force, tanked the World War Explosion, which is a galaxy-destroying attack capable of annihilating the entire Milky Way, withstood a Guardian of the Universe self-destructing right in front of him, and ripped up a weakened Anti-Monitor to pieces, which is an impressive durability feat, as a mere touch from Anti-Monitor killed a Guardian of the Universe. Well, for the most part, Superboy Prime was okay. Prime is also insanely fast, as he was able to escape the Speed Force, which before that had been deemed impossible, stopped 3 different flashes from speed blitzing him, and it took Bart absorbing the whole Speed Force to outpace Superboy Prime. He's also got heat vision that's powerful enough to shoot straight through green and yellow lanterns and even penetrate the chest of Superman, and freeze breath that can instantly freeze opponents. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, this is a really hard battle to call, like really hard, because both characters have had some ridiculously high showings throughout the years, even though Superboy Prime isn't a comics regular. But on the same time, they've had some rough and really low showings, like when Superboy Prime was struggling against Superboy, or Thanos being taken down by Squirrel Girl. However, with that being said, I guess it's time for me to give my 2 cents on this. Now, looking at everything they've done, I'm gonna say pretty much everyone can agree Superboy Prime is stronger. Yes, Thanos has overpowered Thor, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and even gone up against the Avengers, but on the other hand, we're talking about a guy who has single-handedly fought against pretty much every hero in the DC universe, and even some villains. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. He's actually consistently displayed the ability to just trash fools in almost every comic that he's been in, even trying to take on the Green Lantern Corps, Yellow Lantern Corps, and the Heroes of Earth all by himself. Superboy Prime is also much faster than Thanos here as well. I mean, the Mad Titan really has no super speed to speak of, while Superboy Prime is possibly faster than any Flash that we've seen. He even busted out the Speed Force after the Flashes trapped him in there, which wasn't supposed to be possible. Now, whenever I talk about Thanos in other videos, I usually like to make a little caveat about how Thanos was still able to beat Silver Surfer, who was fast enough to enter the time stream under his own speed. So just because he doesn't have super speed, it doesn't necessarily mean he'll lose. I'm not sure that really applies to this fight though, because Silver Surfer and other heroes that Thanos has gone up against are just that, heroes. Even if they have super speed, they don't always let loose and self-regulate pretty much whenever they're in a fight. They usually only let loose with speed when they really need to. And Thanos is such a physical powerhouse and intimidating opponent that he can quickly overpower opponents and put them on the defense from the very beginning, usually making it where they don't use their speed. But that's not what we're talking about here. First off, Superboy Prime is absolutely insane, and he has no problem cutting loose and going at full speed, especially if he sees this is an advantage that he has over Thanos. And secondly, Prime is stronger, so Thanos isn't going to be able to put him on his heels as the fight begins. Not saying that Superboy Prime's speed is going to absolutely ensure him the victory, but it is going to be a big factor in this fight. Now, durability is really where these two guys are the closest and most comparable. Thanos' durability is arguably his greatest physical asset, and he's survived a blast not just from Thor and Hulk, but he's remained conscious after being punched through a planet, also taking attacks from Skyfather beings like Odin, and even attacks from Galactus. Then he's also got his nearly impenetrable force fields, which a recently fed Galactus had to actually exert himself to bust through, and he was impressed by just how powerful Thanos' shields were. But Superboy Prime has survived an explosion capable of annihilating the Milky Way, withstood a guardian of the universe exploding in his face, and just as he's fought against the strongest heroes on Earth, he's also taken attacks on them no problem. And then in regards to Thanos' force fields, Superboy Prime has rampaged through a 300-mile long Green Lantern construct by just flying and punching through it. Not saying that Prime will get through the force field with just one punch, but he will be able to get through that field. At the end of the day, I'd say these guys are comparable in terms of durability, especially with Thanos' force field, but Superboy Prime's strength and speed firmly cements him as physically superior. If Thanos wants to win this one, he's going to have to use some more of his unique and versatile powers. And he does have some versatile powers. Thanos has energy blast that can send Galactus flying halfway across the planet, but it didn't actually injure the World Eater. And like we just mentioned, Prime has survived an explosion capable of destroying the Milky Way. So while the attack would definitely move him and send him flying like it did with Galactus, it won't actually defeat him. And then there's also the question of whether Thanos will be able to tag him, or Superboy Prime will just choose to dodge the attack. No, that's not going to work. Instead, Thanos' greatest chance at winning this fight is to use telepathy to simply mind control Superboy Prime or shut his mind down. This is actually a real possibility, as we've never really seen Superboy Prime go up against telepathic attacks before. It's probable that he's got some level of durability to them, just like Superman is notoriously hard to read telepathically, but Thanos has mind controlled the Hulk, who we also know is very difficult to mind control. So while it's definitely possible that Thanos could telepathically attack Superboy Prime, there are a couple things that we need to consider as well. First off, Thanos really doesn't use telepathy that much in a fight, especially when it's likely that a telepathic attack could lead him to an easy victory. Instead, he tends to get more in a hand-to-hand fight, and even revel and enjoy it, as after taking a beating from Thor with the Power Gem, Thanos smiled. Secondly, Superboy Prime has gone up against Martian Manhunter a couple of times before, and overpowered him before he uses telepathy. And Manhunter is a more powerful telepath than Thanos, and a whole lot more likely to use it in a fight. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to Superboy Prime's greater physicality, especially his strength and speed, and his tendency to be an aggressive fighter, and even trying to kill most of his opponents. It would be a great fight to watch, and Thanos would claim a victory or two with his telepathy, and especially if he had time to prepare beforehand. But for the most part, I think Prime's just got his number here. Because while Thanos is definitely a team buster, and able to fight against beings like Galactus, Prime has fought against almost all the heroes of Earth, and even both the Green and Yellow Lantern Corps, and I just can't picture Thanos doing as well if he was in the same situation. Superboy Prime wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just like this one every single day. I'll see you next time.